Thursday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Mostly sunny skies, warm today, 75 to 80, and light northeast winds. Partly to mostly clear, near 60 tonight. Light southeast winds expected. A south wind at 10 miles per hour Thursday, partly to mostly sunny in the mid-80s. Could be a shower or thunderstorm late Thursday night. Showers and thunderstorms, cooler weather in the mid-70s Friday. Lots of clouds expected Friday. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. German police say 2 people have been killed in a shooting by a synagogue in the city of Halle. Turkey says its troops will shortly cross into Syria. Some UK cabinet ministers are reportedly expressing concern about a possible endorsement of no deal as official policy by Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister. And Russia's Anti-Corruption Foundation is being blacklisted by the Justice Ministry in the country as a foreign agent.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Hi, I'm Christy Conway, and I'm married to Christopher Lorenz Conway, who is a phenomenal man. He's also a playwright that's bringing a very, 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 very good play here to Jonesboro, Arkansas, which is called The Mess of Me. So. Okay, well, Chris, he has a fabulous mind, and I think that he had a burden to share a play that was very real and relevant to where we are right now. This is not a magical play. It's not a majestical play. This is not Mary Poppins. This is real life stuff that's going on. And he's built a play that's centered around several different real life scenarios. Some things that people don't like, to really talk about in the open. Marriages, okay. The foster care system, mm-hmm. the criminal justice system. Oh man, relationship issues. When I say relationship issues, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, but relationships that you would have with friends. Okay. And so he's highlighting all of these different areas that many of us can really relate to. But in the highlights, he's showing how we get caught up in a whole bunch of mess.
Oh, wow.
But the beauty, what I deem as the beauty of this whole production is that though all of us are in mess or have been in mess, there's always an opportunity for redemption.
Okay.
Because I've been in mess, I can kind of recognize if you're in some mess, I can kind of see your struggle, see what you're going through. And I think that is the, one of the foundational premises of the play, to be able to recognize when somebody is struggling because you've been there.
Okay.
And then what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let them just keep struggling, or are you going to come to the rescue? Are you going to talk about them and bash them? That's real life stuff.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
So that's kind of where we are with this. And then with us, we're Christian, so there's a strong Christian element that is to this. But you just got to be there,
okay,
to see it. It's mind blowing. It really is.
Right. Did you have some questions?
I was just about to ask you, can you recognize my struggle?
Well, perhaps if I sat down and talked with you a little bit around you, I'm sure I could recognize some things that we have in common that could be perceived as a struggle or a challenge in your life. But see, I'm not one of those ones that just sees somebody struggling or on a low end and just leave them there. I'm one of the ones that's going to reach out a helping hand. And I think that this play shows the beauty of both worlds.
Wow.
The rescue, the villain. And then I think this opens the door of some really heavy conversations about what we can do when people really are in mess. And when the mess it's not just a foundational mess, it's a total mess.
Wow.
It stinks. It's in total disarray. How do you get it back in order?
God.
Yeah, that's good because, some people don't know what to do when they're going through the struggle that they're going through.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. I want to say good morning to a few people. Don't want them to think I'm ignoring them. Sorry, y'all. We in our conversation. Good morning to Miss Sherry Lynn, to Javon Barnes, and Mrs. Catherine Moore says good morning, and Mr. Christopher.
Good morning.
Those my people, yeah, and my boo thing.
Mr. Christopher, if you have any comments or anything you want to drop in the feed, please feel free to do so. We would love to hear from you and your thought process behind the play. I want to kind of go back and talk about the mess we get in, and I want to reference this. I don't want to call any people's name because even though these stories were in the national news, I don't want to call their name because I don't want to be like I'm picking on them. But there were several people, especially ministers, who have come out and admitted their own truths about things that would shock us that are on, like I said, the lower end. Like, we're not in the pulpit, we're just bench members pretty much. And so to hear a minister come out and say, I struggled with this, I got caught up in this, here is my ugly truth, it takes us back like, wow. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that we often forget that people at different levels of ministry, whether they're in the pulpit, they're a bench member, whether they have been serving the Lord for 50 years, or they 1 year in, do we often forget that we're still human underneath it all?
I think that you've answered the question. I think that many times, especially when we think of leadership, people put leadership on a pedestal, and they don't give opportunity for human frailties, for mess ups, or just humanity, period. First, there's no human that's going to be perfect, ever. We're all going to make mistakes. And so sometimes I think when people have positions, we overlook their humanity because we have such a high standard or a high expectation for them. And sometimes people are not going to meet your standard. And then let me even be honest. sometimes we're not going to even meet the standard of Christ.
Wow.
Because we are human. And so when we don't meet the mark, sometimes people get very condescending and judgmental. But before any minister is ever a minister, they're a person first. And so it is my belief that that you minister grace to all humankind, which includes authority and leadership.
Okay. All right. Did you want to jump in? All right. Mrs. Catherine says, this play is ministry personified in all capital letters.
It is.
So come on out Saturday. And Mr. Christopher says, good morning. Good morning, Miss Sheila Griggs Lacey.
Good morning.
All right. So kind of, carrying on the conversation. So do you feel that this play can lead to seminars, can lead to more sessions? Because, again, as you mentioned, it starts a conversation, internal and then group conversations. And I would love to see this play. But do you feel that eventually this can be...
Oh, my God. Avila. Let me tell you, it's so many scenes and so many different scenarios. I don't know why it couldn't become a seminar or a conference or additional conversation, because these are real life situations that are so very relevant. I mean, like I said before, you have in the play, you have a couple married couples. You know, there are going to always be people that are married, and there are going to always be people that are married that look good on the outside and are living in hell behind closed doors. So that conversation is already out there and very public, but seeing this play will even bring more light to it.
I can't even imagine.
Some of the things, and let me lean on this, that's in the Black community that's very hidden and concealed, some things that we don't like to talk about often when it comes to molestations and different types of abuse and neglect. You know, that's not wide open. As much as it is in the mainstream, it's not nearly showing a true light on how much it really happens in our community. This play opens the door for that conversation, for that dialogue. When we're talking about rape and abuse amongst same sexes and heterosexual relationships, this play opens that door. When I say this is a very well-rounded play, it is, and I would advise that anybody come out to see it. Quabila, we're in the day and time where so many things are swept under the rug.
Yes, ma'am.
We're trying to bring stuff to light.
Okay.
And say, not just bring it to light, but also bring remedy to this mess.
Wow.
You can have mess and we can uncover mess all we want, but if we just show you the mess and don't show you how to clean it up, it's useless.
Okay.
But this play shows mess and gives a remedy too. So we just want people to look at it, find themselves, and then see the remedy. And if they don't see themselves, maybe they know somebody else that's in that's in some of these situations that they can give advice to because of what they've seen in this ministry.
Amazing. I'm going to read some of the comments we have. Mrs. Keisha Hagan says, good morning, Christy.
Good morning.
Sierra Knighton says, come on out Saturday. Everyone can't wait. Mrs. Sheila says, we are too excited about this ministry opportunity coming to Jonesboro thanks to the Conways. Mr. Christopher says, absolutely, this play is a conversation starter. It is an introduction to a counseling session, a topic for youth summits, community awareness that can be taken and addressed to help. Good morning to Ms. Jackie Taper, and Victor Rodgers says, get your tickets.
Yeah, 10 point Victor.
All right, and then Mr. Christopher says, it shows people they are not alone. A response to those who have hidden trauma that people experience and feel there is no one dealing with what they deal with. And that's something, okay, to touch on that, do you feel, especially in the Christian community, Christian and Black community, because we don't deal with our traumas in a healthy way, that could be the source of the root of some of our mess and why we get so easily entangled in everyday life struggles.
First, I want to say that trauma is very real, and if you are living, you're gonna experience some kind of trauma.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody is exempt from trauma, but we've been taught, especially I believe, that we've been taught in the African American community that if you expose that you've had a traumatic experience, that you're weak. And oftentimes that makes people feel isolated, they feel alone. But if I put my trauma in the forefront, if I tell you, hey, Quabila, I've had such a traumatic experience, this is what happened to me. If I air that out to you, maybe you'll have strength enough to say, hey, I've had this same type of trauma. Or not this same type of trauma. I've had this kind of trauma as well. And then we can walk each other through a process. Sometimes because we're not willing to identify or disclose our trauma, the help is not there.
Okay.
Man, trauma ranges, it's such a broad spectrum. And what traumatizes one may not traumatize another. But trauma is still all the same. Our traumas may be different, but all of us are going to experience it, you know? And to me, trauma doesn't show weakness. It just shows that you're human.
And I would love for us to get to the point where we stop telling people just get over it, or why can't you get over it already? We don't know how deep those roots of that issue go. So you getting over something and brushing it off is different than someone else dealing with it. And we'll get into some more. There's some more comments here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning to David Nunez. Keisha says our culture needs to learn how to honestly talk about trauma. Christopher says hidden trauma becomes extended trauma. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Sherry. Hey, Sherry. She says, congratulations to the Conways to be obedient to the Spirit because it truly ministers to many. May our God continue to take you higher and prosper you.
Thank you, Sherry.
Now, I've heard the cliche, and in some cases it's true. Hurt people hurt people. So let's expound on that in our last 4 minutes.
So is your question to me, do I believe that's true?
Okay, this is from a ministry standpoint. Expound on that.
I think that hurt people do have I think that hurt people can hurt people.
Okay.
If hurt people don't deal with their hurt, then they will hurt other people. But I don't think that it's definitive that they have to.
Okay.
So many times, because we do not deal with what our hurt is or the root of our hurt, some of it is learned behaviors. So we end up doing the exact same thing to someone else because that's what we've seen, that's what we've grown accustomed to. Even though it may have bruised us or wounded us or hurt us, we perpetuate that exact same thing because we've never actually dealt with that hurt, that trauma, the root of whatever that hurt was. So we do the same thing to others. And then on the other end, you have it where some people are angry. And because they are hurt, they want other people to hurt. It's almost like they take vengeance. Mm-hmm. You know, they have vengeance in their heart and they want to spew it over other people because they want people to feel like they feel.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But to me, in Christendom, I think it's our aim to say, if that hurt you so badly, you don't want anybody ever to, have to feel the exact same way you have. We want to heal you so that you can go and help to heal others. That's my perspective.
Some people, they're afraid that they'll get that same hurt again.
Yeah.
So, say for instance, if they're in a relationship and their significant other hurt them, they'll go into another relationship and hurt that person.
Mm-hmm. You feel that's why people close themselves off from. When I say intimate, I mean male, like friend, either romantic or just
definitely
friendship, but intimate, someone that you're really close with and you share your inner feelings with. You feel that some people just close themselves off and say, "I'm not with friends with anybody. I'm not talking to anybody," because either they haven't dealt with or don't know how to deal with whatever has happened.
Yeah, I think some people definitely close themselves off, but then my question becomes, how is that benefiting you? Because then you're isolated and you're alone. You're left to your own thoughts. You're left to your own ideas. And, to be honest, sometimes our own thoughts and our own ideas are not healthy.
Your own worst enemy.
Yeah, and we are our own worst enemy.
Ooh, mercy Jesus. All right, I'm going to read one more comment before we go to break here. Miss Bethany Hill says, good morning.
Good morning.
And then Sheila Lacey says, every trauma, negative experience we deal with is never just for the person going through it. One way to heal is share it with someone else. That's real ministry. Thank you so much for that.
And the scripture that backs that up.
And I've heard the conversation before about your testimony can help someone else. You never know who else is silently going through something similar, as you said before. I mean, sometimes there are things we're going through, as Ms. Sheila said, it's not necessarily for us. Mm-hmm. It hurts and it's horrible for us to be dealing with the whole experience, but sometimes it's for someone else to get something out of that as well.
Absolutely. Ms. Q, sometimes people say, why me? But my question would be, why not you?
Oh, okay. We're going to put a pause right there, let people think on that. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Minister Christy Conway from Fullness of Joy, discussing the mess I'm in, and give a shout out to Minister Christopher Conway, the producer. So we'll be right back with more discussion after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
So, you don't approve of your child's friend or dating relationship. I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. We've all seen it in the movies. The sweet, innocent daughter falls for the greasy-haired rebel boy that parents can't stand. Maybe that's extreme, but it's still very common for parents to find their older teens and adult children pursuing relationships they don't approve of. So, here are 4 ways to direct your child with wisdom. First, begin with love. Start the conversation with love by sharing how you love them unconditionally and have their best interests at heart. Second, address the issue. Don't attack the person. Your child will shut down if you start by attacking their friend, boyfriend, or girlfriend. For more ways to advise your child, visit my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a non-profit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Help keep KLEK on the air. Give now through our Fall Fund Drive. We are seeking 100 donors to give at least $20 per month, but we are happy with any gift, large or small. Come by our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro. Call us at 870-277-1080 or visit our website, klekfm.org, or you can use Cash App, $KLEKFM, or text KLEK1. Send it to 44321.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
the story about when he was stationed overseas and he had an accident in his car and had to have the fender painted. Took it to a body shop. He went to pick it up. Fender didn't match. He told him that I needed the match to be acceptable. He went back in a few days and everything matched fine. He took it home. The next day, looked at it. They painted the rest of the side of the car. It didn't match the trunk or the hood. Glenn saying, God bless our troops.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers, pastor of Fullness of Joy Church, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401. Wednesday night, Word and Worship, 7 p.m. Prayer Thursday night at 7 p.m. Sunday School, 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning worship, 11 o'clock a.m. And our Sunday night live service at 7 p.m.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102. You can take them off. Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with my special guest, Minister Christy Conway from Fullness of Joy, discussing the play The Mess I'm In, written and produced by Minister Christopher.
Maria's Christopher Productions. Whoop, whoop.
I want to know how did y'all, that's another question. Christy. But anyway, and then we have our very own Tamara Jackson, who is our intern here. So we're going to get back into our conversation. If you missed the first part, you missed a treat, but we're going to keep it rolling and talk about, the mess I'm in and how we as Christians or just everyday people go through things and we try to live through and work through and ignore the mess, but eventually it's just going to become so overwhelming. It's just going to take over our whole atmosphere that we have to start dealing with it. So can you introduce us to some of the characters?
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm very fond of everybody.
Okay.
In this play, all the characters, because I feel like it's so much that you can glean from them. But I want to say this on the front end: some of these characters you will love to hate.
Oh.
And the first one I'm going to talk about, her name is Terry.
Okay.
Terry is someone who. She's someone that we've talked about in the first segment, who's never really dealt with her inner trauma, so she perpetuates that and onto other people. And when I say Terry is scandalous, she is scandalous for real.
Wow.
If she was a real person, I would not like her.
Oh my.
And I'm fond of most people. But I would not like her. There's also a young lady named Jessica in the play, and she's married to this man named Twan.
Okay.
And when you look at them walking in the park, they look wonderful. Okay. They look well put together. He's a hard-working man. She's a beautiful young woman that seeks to love her husband. But everything is not at face value with them. And then on the other end, you have another married couple. You have Olivia and her husband, who was a police officer, and they are very well put together. They attend church together. They are so loving, but there's some hidden family issues, not amongst them, but their past lives kind of collide.
Okay.
And sometimes that happens in real life. Mm-hmm. You join yourself to someone and you don't really know what all you're getting into, what comes along with them. their family dynamics, how they were raised versus how you were. Oh man, so that's a whole nother thing. And then you have a young lady. Her name is Devin,
Okay.
and she's what we would kind of call close to a transition age youth. She's been in the system most of her life, and when I say the system, I'm not talking about criminal justice. I'm talking about the foster care system. She had some issues, and she was no longer able to be with her parents, and now she's 17 and has grown up in this system. So, what do you think? How do you think that impacts her whole life going forward? Her thinking, her mannerisms.
Her a little rough around the edges in survival mode.
Survival mode. Okay, yes, ma'am. And then you have the people that are working with Devin.
Okay.
You have the counselors. What are their roles? What's their backstory? What does their life look like? Okay, I can counsel you, but what am I going home to?
Okay.
So it's a whole lot of mess intertangled everywhere. And then we have some people there that are actually, they're in the criminal justice system, because that's really real. People that are going to jail. How has the prison life or jail life impacted their mentality? What goes on in jail? What happens when somebody new comes? Then you have some people that are there for comic relief. They are absolutely funny. You got some of those friends that you can just lean on for a laugh. We have some of those people in the play. One of my favorite people, her name is Michelle. Y'all, she is so funny. She works in the counseling office, but she has her own set of issues, but her stuff is so light. Okay. It's like, okay, I like her. That could be my girl. She crazy. Oh man, she's something else. And then it's another young lady. Her name is Natalie, and the brokenness of her heart has just put her in some horrible places, and she's literally trying to climb out of a deep pit by tooth and nail. And sometimes when you're trying to get over something, it's not so easy. But she has some girlfriends there that are there to try to help her. But do we always want to accept the help when it's there? So it's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of mess. But there is also redemption in the end. I don't care how much mess you're in, you don't have to stay there. That's the whole premise of this play. And I don't know if you've actually seen the actual logo for the whole play. When you look at it, the mess I'm in, look what's highlighted.
Sin.
What'd you say?
Sin. I noticed that earlier when I walked in here.
The sin I'm in, mess, oftentimes start with sin.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
We haven't talked about, I guess, the youth impact. Are there any youth characters in the play?
Yes.
Besides Devin?
Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple others.
Okay.
And I like to say that, young people have traumatic experiences too.
They do.
And when young people don't deal with their traumatic experiences, or when young people don't deal with their mess early on, they become messy adults.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, yes, there is a great storyline for young people in this play. When I say that this engulfs every age group, it's there.
Wow. So would you advise parents of teenagers to bring their teenagers out?
I think that it's imperative that they bring their teenagers. I have two daughters. One is 11 and the other is 8. And they've been at every show that we've presented. so far. Some people, they're like, well, I'm really concerned about bringing my, 10-year-old. Well, honest to God, 10-year-olds have issues too. And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit from the play. Before I started working with adults in mental health and behavioral health, I worked with children. Oh, wow. I was a mental health specialist, and I worked with elementary students, grades 1 through 6. Okay. And some of the things that these young people go through, some of us as adults, we've never lived through. So I'm saying that even your youngest child can understand, if they understand hurt feelings, they can understand this play too.
And so, not to, throw shade at anyone's living situation, but unfortunately a lot of our children experience and witness things that they should not ever have to.
Absolutely.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance of their living situation, who their parents or the neighborhood or wherever they live, and yeah, they see a lot of things that most adults probably don't even want to experience. So,
and then they see these things, and then they're told, don't say anything about it. And so they keep all these things secret, keep them inside, and it literally impacts the way they think, and then the decisions that they make. Yeah. What goes on in your home affects the rest of your life. That's just the truth. And sometimes you have children that are, 8, 9, 10. They don't know how to deal with a lot of these things. And then we tell them to hush. Well, go on in this house, stay in this house. Be quiet. They have no outlet. They don't have anywhere to vent, nowhere to tell their frustrations or their concerns to, or even their joys. And they hold all of this inside, and it's just cluttered. And that clutter impacts their decisions. And sometimes they don't make very good choices because of the things that they've witnessed at home, because of some of the things that they've maybe even been through themselves and haven't had courage enough to talk about, because us as adults, we don't want to be shamed. So we tell them to shut up. That's not fair, in my opinion.
So from your experience as a mental health caseworker for children and adults, are you now able to more readily recognize behaviors and or actions and how can I say, things people say to does it help you to recognize, okay, there's something deeper that they're not expressing? Like, are you able to now recognize that there's some mess going on in their life, there's something going on that needs to be addressed that they're not admitting to?
My work with children gave me the foundation for my work with adults.
Okay.
And I will say this. The adults that I work with now are the exact same children, that I worked with then. They just never had an outlet or, didn't have medication, if you understand what I'm saying. They're not the exact same people when I say yes, name by name, but I'm talking about they're the same circumstances. Okay. The kids that I work with, the adults, they had the same circumstances that the children did, but they never were afforded the opportunity to seek help. And now I'm working with them, and now many of them are in the criminal justice system and have behavioral health and mental health disorders.
Wow.
For the listeners that missed the first segment and just now tuning in with us, could you let us know when and where the play will be held?
Absolutely. The Mess I'm In is coming here to Jonesboro, Arkansas on Saturday at 6 p.m. downtown at the Forum. The exact address is 115 East Monroe at the Foundation of the Arts or the Forum Center. Okay. Doors open at 5 p.m. Tickets for general admission, if you get them in advance, are $10. And if you want VIP tickets, which means you have preferred seating, you sit up closer, you hear things, you see things better, it's $15 in advance. If perhaps you missed the threshold, the open door, to buy tickets in advance, there is a little bit of an inflated charge at the door, so you'll be paying $15 at the door for general seating.
And some of us need that front row seat, so y'all get that VIP ticket.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, I do want to announce we will be doing something special because we're non-commercial. We have to do it on our Facebook page. So after the show, head over to the KLEK Facebook page, and there will be some criteria for this special giveaway. So go check that out. Again, give me some time. Give me about 10:30 to put the post up on our Facebook page. I want everyone to go out and support this play. You know, again, not to just be name calling, comparing. I want to see Chris Conway name up there like with David E. Talbot. You know,
Yes.
so I want to see. I want Jonesboro to be on the map.
Absolutely.
For the place for all things production.
Absolutely. It's funny that you would say that, and I think that this is such a wonderful segue with what has happened over the weekend with Mr. Tyler Perry. He's the first African-American, first black man to own his own studios, first off in the history of Hollywood, and then to own the caliber of studios that he has. This man has built a studio that's bigger than Time Warner and all these other major studios put together. And then he's built it on land that used to be Confederate land only. But he started off humbly, just as my husband has. Started off just writing. I remember him giving a testimony of him having to live out of his car for a season. And then he started in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia.
And he was begging people to put his plays on. He lost money.
Absolutely.
He spent more on productions at times than actually what he made, in profit. But that just showed how passionate he was about his craft.
Absolutely. And with him, when you listen to his interviews, he says that it wasn't so much about the money for him. It was about getting a message out. And that is the exact same sentiments of my husband. For him, it's not all about the money, the glory, the fame, but it is about awareness and getting this message out. Not just a message of awareness of what's going on, but the message of Christ in the end. The message of redemption, the message of hope and love. Because, we have so many things that are going on that shows all of our bad business. But what is the remedy? And so that's what he does. He writes, he shows the real, but he's going to always give a remedy in the end. So this is business for us. I won't say it's not business, but this is ministry.
Amen.
This is ministry for us. This is life for us. This is what the Conways is about. This is what Christopher Conway and Lorenz Christopher production is about. And I want Jonesboro to know that the mess I'm in, it's not the last thing that's coming to our area.
It's only the beginning.
It is only the beginning. Be on the lookout because we got something for you.
All right, there. I want to say good morning to Chancey Simmons, Miss Otasha Pye, and Miss Sheila Lacey says, telling children to be quiet not only impacts their purview, it also often perceived as them having no voice, or that their voice isn't important. Come to the play. And then Angela Johnson says, I'm excited to see the play. Thank you everyone for checking in. Share this video, share this message. This play, as Miss Christy has mentioned, it's about ministry, it's about redemption, it's about more than just, okay, let's look at people going through their mess. Let's look at how they come through and how mighty the power of God is.
Absolutely.
And if we allow God to work in our lives, we too can experience the same.
Absolutely.
The same thing.
And like I said, it's ministry. It's not church, but it's ministry, and this is real for us. And then let me sidebar. And y'all know people's mess can be entertaining. This is entertaining mess.
Okay.
With a message at the end. We like to watch, what is it called? Love and Hip Hop, Housewives of Atlanta, and all this kind of stuff. And most of us are intrigued because it's messy. Come and see this mess.
Okay.
It's more relatable. It's on our level. It's in our community. It's the real. It's not a backstory, somebody saying, okay, you throw you throw a ball right here. You drink a shot right here. It's not that. It's not literally staged. It's not staged. It is staged only because it's written, but this is real life. Yes ma'am.
So if someone wants more information about the play, or even after the play, if somebody wants to reach out to y'all to talk about the situation, if they could relate to it, how can I get in contact with you?
Well, there are a few ways that they can get in contact with us. Certainly, we would love for them to email us with any inquiries that they have. They can email us at Conway, CONWAY .CAPS at gmail.com, and we'll get that, and we are very quick to respond to those things. Perhaps if somebody would like for the play to come to their area, or if they would like a referral of some sort, if they're having a big issue and they want someone to talk to, maybe we can give a referral. They can call us at 901-602-7301, and we'll get that. That comes straight to our phones. And then they can also have liberty to follow us on Facebook. The Mess I'm In has its own event page, so you can be on the lookout of where the show may come to different areas. And then they can follow us personally, Christopher Conway, or they can follow me personally, Christy Mathis Conway on Facebook, and also on Instagram.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we will wrap up our discussion and recap. And Ms. Latasha Platt says, will there be an option to possibly buy a DVD? All right. We'll put that in the atmosphere. All right, you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. So here's today's lesson. You cannot improve your finances without living on a budget. People who manage money well know three things at all times. First, they know their expenses for the year, for each month, and often by the day. They have a plan for their spending, so they know their household costs and obligations like the back of their hand. Two, they know exactly where their money goes. They never look up at the end of the month surprised that they're broke and wondering where all their money went. They understand to the penny how their money is spent and what they spent it on. And finally, they know where they want their money to go. They have goals for every area code. So here's the reality. If you're not serious about budgeting, you're not serious about building wealth. And whatever wealth you have, you likely won't have for long. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters at AURN.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Office of Diversity and Community Engagement at Arkansas State University, under the leadership of Dr. Maurice Gibson, is a proud supporter of KLEK and is dedicated to finding innovative ways to advance their mission of creating a diverse and inclusive environment, conducive to educating, enhancing, and enriching lives, uplifting various and diverse groups on the A-State campus. and striving to maintain Arkansas State University, a place that is inclusive to all individuals, regardless of origin, color, religion, socioeconomic status, or sexual orientation. More information about the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement is available at www.astate.edu/diversity and 870-972-3081.
House of Details, located at 3915 East Highland in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, waxing, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with a motto of anything mean we can clean. Details at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and at klekfm.org.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers, pastor of Fullness of Joy Church, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401. Wednesday night, Word and Worship, 7 p.m. Prayer Thursday night at 7 p.m. Sunday School, 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning worship, 11 o'clock a.m. And our Sunday night live service at 7 p.m.
KLEK 102.5 FM salutes small businesses. Small businesses promote local character and success, keeping money in the local economy, local jobs, entrepreneurship, community well-being, and so much more. Contact us today to learn more on how your small business could be featured on KLEK for as little as $25 per month.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
On KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kavila Jones. My special guest today has been Minister Christy Conway from Fullness of Joy, discussing the play The Mess I'm In, written and produced by Minister Christopher Conway. And then my intern, my other special guest, is Tamara Jackson. Thank you for joining us today. I want to say good morning to some people. Miss Sharon Harris.
That's my sister, y'all.
She says, "Hey, sis, Christy Conway, Mathis Conway, good job." And Latasha's still asking about this DVD, so we're gonna make some DVD so have it around. And then Mr. Christopher says, "Awesome job, Christy. Thank you for representing us. Love you."
I love you too, honey. Miss Kavila, I wanted to give a quick shout out. Every time that you've introduced me, you said Christy Conway from Fullness of Joy, and I want to say that I am a proud member of Fullness of Joy Ministries, right here in Jonesboro on Thorn Street, under the leadership of Bishop Adrian Rogers. And I want to publicly say happy birthday to Bishop Adrian Rogers. Today is his birthday, and I also want to give a public thank you for all the support that Fullness of Joy and Bishop Adrian Rogers have rendered to Chris Conway and I. They have fully supported this vision, and not just supported it in word, but also supported it in deed. So when you look at the flyer and it says in collaboration with, it's because they have been our partners for real.
It's awesome, and we have to here at KLEK give Fullness of Joy as much love as we can render, because they were our first church and longest running church sponsor.
Cool.
So shout out definitely to Bishop and family for believing in the vision that Mackenzie had and supporting the station. So
Yeah.
we would not be here. I mean, we thank all of our other supporters too. Please don't feel that we don't. But Fullness was our first church and longest running church.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the mess I'm in, and if anyone has seen the flyer, we were talking about this a little bit off air, or I think we highlight on air the letters that I highlighted, which is sin, S-I-N,
Yes,
and so that is kind of the key component to what can lead to the mess in our lives.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So as we get ready to, wrap up. Give us a recap for those that may have missed some part of the conversation. I don't know why you would, but for those that may have missed, give us a recap and then dates, time, location, things of that nature.
Okay. The mess I'm in, it will be here in Jonesboro, Arkansas this Saturday, October 12th. At 6 p.m. is what time the show starts, but doors open at 5 p.m. Our host location is the Foundation of the Arts, or known as the Forum, here in Jonesboro, Arkansas, at 115 East Monroe Street. I would advise everyone to kind of come early. I will say that the parking is not all that beautiful and glamorous right there at the foundation, but it's more than enough parking for everyone.
Yeah.
I would advise that people come in and get a good seat, get comfortable, and be ready for the ride, this emotional roller coaster that's both joyful and heart-wrenching, both funny and sad at the same time, that exposes the realness of mess that we get ourselves in, but not just leaving you in your mess, but offering a way out, a remedy, offering hope at the end of it. It's okay to recognize mess, but it's not okay to stay there. We're here to kind of help pull a person out of that thing, and like you said, to help pull you, recognize your sin and pull you away from it, and to minister the hope in Christ.
Wow.
If y'all haven't seen the flyer, I advise y'all to look at it, because I'm over here looking at it now, and the title, it has a message in it.
Yeah.
It has a message in it.
So please go out and support this production. This is just one of many to come, and there's so many other products to follow under this brand name. So be on the lookout for the Conways. They are here to claim their stake, and just be on the lookout.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Thank
also,
you for having us.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I love having you here. I love talking about all things ministry, even though it wasn't like a sermon ministry, but it's still ministry for your soul. I think we need that every now and then, to have these type of conversations. So many people are going through things silently, and they just don't know who they can trust to talk about it, or even open up to a little bit. So hopefully after the play,
yes, ma'am,
we start having more real and relatable and raw conversations.
Yes, ma'am.
And go ahead.
Oh, Ms. Covila, I just wanted to make it known that the actors and actresses that are in this play, they're our community's very own. So come out and support your own. We're not bringing in people from Memphis and Little Rock. These are Jonesboro people, people that have that made their residence here. So come and support all of them. It's faces that you're familiar with. So come and be blessed.
All right, Mr. Mary, the final words for our last minute.
Oh, I was just about to say, if you think about it, we all live in Jonesboro, so we're kind of a family.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Whether you like it or not.
We are a family. I'm not going to sing the song, but we are a family. Yes, ma'am. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone out there for listening and supporting. Good morning to Ms. Jessica Williams. If you missed any part of the play, any part of the conversation, okay, yes, ma'am.
No, I was about to say, remind them to go to Facebook for your special announcement.
Oh, yes. Check about 10:30 on the KLEK 102.5 FM Facebook page for a special announcement. You don't want to miss it. All right. Keisha Hagan says FOJ is family. Sheila Lacey says excellent Mrs. Conway. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for our supporters and listeners. We could not do what we do without you. We are your community radio station. Don't forget, today is All Gospel Wednesday. Brother Cops will be here at 11 o'clock with your gospel hits, so stay tuned. All right, everyone have a great and blessed day.
Thank you